Thank you very much, Mrs. Ratan. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving youth this spotlight. To my fellow panelists, to my fellow um, team members as well who will join me on a panel in a little bit. To the Minister of Agriculture, thank you very much for acknowledging the work we're doing. Thank you very much um, for being able to support youth via the Homestead program. I know a lot of youths want to have more and more information, looking out for sign-ups on this. Thank you, Mr. Ramnath. Thank you, Mr. Marcus Sonko, sorry, for a great presentation. I shall share my screen. All right, great. So my task this morning is to talk. For those of you who know me well, you know I ain't talking agriculture, I talking agriculture, right? And you know, it's indeed a pleasure. So just to give a further introduction to myself, I'm Alpha Senon, the founder and executive director of WHYFARM. And you know, WHYFARM is an NGO that pioneers agricultural, educational entertainment in Trinidad and Tobago, and we work all over the globe. This is actually like my third talk for the morning. You know, my talk started 3 a.m. this morning. I had a seminar, a keynote speech to do for a conference in Africa, and then one ICT for Ag in Europe. You know, so quite a busy morning, followed by going in the dashing bush patch after to pick 20 bundles of dashing bush from Marcy stores in Savaria, and then to join you all. So it's always indeed a pleasure to come off the field, come into the office, have a talk, go back out in the field. And I think this is the essence of agribusiness, agri-entrepreneurship, and the youth energy that we have to be able to really serve this sector. So I kind of go and dive into it. I mean, my task today will be to really allow the young people in the audience to be able to understand when we say agripreneurship, what we're talking about. Creativity in agripreneurship, what we're talking about. When we say youth and agripreneurship, what we're talking about. Being able to take that skill set that you have to develop this sector, because we are in the age of digital technology, in the age of creativity and innovation. And as the minister said as well, to plant something. You know, you don't just wait for this how much acres of land from the ministry. Yes, we want it, don't get me wrong, but don't wait on it to then to start that agribusiness, right? So let's talk about youth. And this is my little creative definition of youth, you know. Youth opens up the horizon. I don't know if I'm making sense, but you all will tell me. Youth opens up the horizon through imagivision. For those of you who know me, I like to play around with words and put words together and that kind of thing. Through imagivision, and I would love for folks, I mean, I can't see your comment right now to tell me what you think these words mean. Imagivision, create opportunity, innopreneurship, right? So I hope I'm getting some answers right now, but I'll share some more on it right now, right? Imagivision, it speaks to imagination and vision. Plenty times, everybody have this wild imagination. We dream in the night, we imagine all kind of thing. But do we align it towards a sustainable vision? Create opportunity, creating the opportunity, not just waiting for some money to come to you, not just waiting for somebody to tell you, hey, why you don't start whatever? Create the opportunity. Innopreneurship, right? We often hear about innovation and then we hear about entrepreneurship. A lot of people have developed innovation, sometimes in their mind as an idea, sometimes in real life. But a lot of people have a challenge in being able to monetize this or whatever value you want from it in return. So we must merge innovation and entrepreneurship to somewhat get that dollar sign, that dollar figure that we need to be able to survive, right? Or, I mean, in the age of bartering or whatever, but it must be able to pay you somehow or the other. Lead her and himship, me again being silly, leadership, right? To become that 21st century farmerpreneur, right? So let's talk a bit about why we're talking about youth and whatnot. You know, we frequently hear that farmers are aging, 50, maybe 60, no matter which. It is alarming. When our elders retire, who then will lead our sector? This undermines the future growth and development of agriculture. A population of 9 billion is expected to occur. A challenge developed, we must conquer. It shows that there's a definite need to increase food production to ensure safe food and nutrition security for each nation, establishing new methodologies and strategies supported by new policies to combat hunger and malnutrition among countries. One such strategy to which I refer is developing the youth and making them the leaders of tomorrow. Judging from previous knowledge, we can agree there is need to educate young farmers for sustainability. From those before, we require young agents galore to be future feeders our world secure. This is a poem written by the one and only. I hope you all enjoyed it. And this is to set our tone for my interactive session this morning. So when we're talking about young people, so I'm going to go a bit now into WHYFARM. Why WHYFARM, why we work with who we work with, and the purpose behind this work and how it's sustainable and why we kind of went on this journey, this lifetime journey that we are upon, right? We are in the year 2020, farmers are aging, 55 years. By the year 2050, they're expected to be deceased, right? I'm not calling anything on anybody, but that's the lifespan of people, right? 30-year-old farmers like myself, I don't know about you all, I want to be retired somewhere in Paris, that's on vacation by the year 2050, hopefully. And the 10-year-olds now, they are the ones to be the professionals. And when I say 10-year-olds, teenagers, etc., right? But what are they thinking about, right? I mean, when we go to schools and we ask children, what is your career? What do you want to be when you grow up? You get one out of like the 30 population of the class saying something close to farmer. Now, it is increasing now and it's improving, right? But I'm saying from the start of our work in 2015, that is what we got. So a steady decline in youth in agriculture. So we said that we have to make agriculture agriculture to ensure that this younger generation, they can put it on their mind. Why does a child say 3 years old say, what do you want to become? I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer, I want to become a pilot, because it's marketed to them on TV, via the storybooks that they read, via the smart playing with on the tablets. And from a 3 years old, they're saying they want to become that. That's not just like that. So this is why we have to get agriculture we can't wait till university to teach children about food security. We can't wait till we get PhD to talk about climate change adaptability. No, the transformative years of conditioning one's mind is between birth and 12. Scientists have proven that. This is not my theory, right? So of course, we had to do agricultural educational entertainment using comics, poetries, colors, music, get agriculture in the so that or may not know him depending on your age, right? But this is as a child, and the song goes like this: Captain Planet, he's a hero. Seemed as though I dropped off there. All right, can I get back access to sharing my screen? I guess the world we live in, we must have some level of technical difficulty at times. So I'm trying to get back access to sharing my screen. Okay. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm not sure what happened. But let's go. Yeah, so I spoke about Captain Planet and remembering that journey as a child. So what did we decide to do? We realized that there must be an adventure to encourage youth in agriculture, starting with a main character who's branded as the world's most powerful food provider. And we created AgriMan, the world's first and only food and nutrition security superhero right here in Trinidad and Tobago, who is growing fruitier feeders from the ground up, right? And AgriMan doesn't only teach children farming.
Boys and girls in the AgriMan, to feed the world is my master plan. If you plant a tree, you can eat for free. This will guarantee food security.
So AgriMan tells children to plant one tree, they'll eat for free, eat local, be responsible, eat healthy, and so many things, having empathy for others without food. You know, too many times we go to sleep and our neighbor is hungry and we have a lot of food that we are wasting. Why not share it, right? So we created an entire team called the Adventures of AgriMan. You see some different characters here, and I'll talk more about them later on, right? Now, we launched AgriMan 2015 World Food Day in Tobago, right? And it was a real remarkable experience for us. And, you know, it took the children to really show, we didn't really know what we was doing. We just know we had this idea. And it took the children to show us that this thing will work. They didn't want to leave our boots. You know, and the Tobago children really understood, I don't know, I guess what AgriMan brought to the table, and they loved him, right? So this was 2015. And I'll start getting into some of our philosophies here now. You know, our entrepreneurship is about process. This was 2015, on the first day AgriMan was launched. And, you know, you see the costume there. I think it cost us about $200 to make that costume, a spandex suit. And then, you know, this is 2015, where AgriMan suit and the design cost us over $2,000 US, right? And this is because we could not wait. If we try to start with $2,000 to build this costume and build that design, all now we're still waiting. And this is some of the takeaways I want you all to understand today, that entrepreneurship, agripreneurship is about at least starting with one pimento seed, if that is what you have, to be very honest, right? So this was later on, right? So now I want to go and talk about agricultural educational training. This is some of the things that we do, but I'll also bring it back for you all to be able to get relevant trainings in starting your agri-business, whatever it may be, right? So we do a lot of trainings. We have our flagship program. It's called the Agripreneur Mastermind Program, where we support 12 to 15 young persons across Trinidad. And we have a numerous amount of partners who support us in this program: YBTT, Thought for Food, the Agricultural Development Bank, the Faculty of Food and Agriculture. So many partners that actually support us, mentors who come in and facilitate sessions and whatnot. And, you know, it's about finding T&T's next top agripreneur. Right? You know, we hear about Next Up Soca Star and Next Up Model, and what has happened to our Next Up Agripreneur. So that is what we have: cash prizes, trips to be won. And I encourage all of you all to look out for our Agripreneur Mastermind Program 2021, right? And well, right. So I kind of transitioning now. Then came COVID-19 into our equation, right? And people started wanting to farm. Some was farming in sneakers, some was farming in tires, some was farming in containers, and you name it, right? I also saw somebody farming behind their car, the trunk of their car. I don't know how they did it, but they were doing it somehow or the other, right? So everybody wanted to plant something. So we had to respond to that, you know, because of our motivation, our online presence. We had to find ways and means to support our communities digitally. We teamed up with the UNDP and the FAO, the United Nations Development Program, to do short mini videos on a Grow Garden initiative, where AgriMan took the lead on teaching soil preparation, transplanting, different types of gardening, you know, setting your seeds, you name it, right? Really, really awesome videos. And these things are available on YouTube, on the UNDP website as well too, for anyone to use and reuse. We call it a reusable learning object, RLOs, right? And of course, we had to support our community. So we created the Plant Your Plate movement. And we, you know, our tagline was Plant Your Plate, it's not too late, right? And this was really beginners farmers, folks who were just now thinking about starting because of COVID-19. They had time on their hand, and you know, we had a little food security scare, right? So I talk about in our group, so we created a WhatsApp group. In our group, nobody close to farmers at all. We're talking about CEOs of companies in Trinidad. We're talking about We're talking about doctors, we're talking about even about pilots in the group, and many folks who just now trying their hand for the first time in planting something. You know, did I have a problem with that? Of course not. You know, I think it takes something to make something happen. And that's what COVID-19 sort of did, right? And of course, we had to be able to share access to stuff as well. So we had our plant your plate starter kit. We sold grow boxes, seedlings, soil. We sold over 200 grow boxes during that period because many folks wanted to plant something. Of course, lack of land space, etc., and they want a more confined environment. So we sold these step-up grow boxes. We made money, of course. We gave back to the community, of course, because we had our market produced stuff that we kind of did charity programs as well as we sold it as well in the community, right? So I'll quickly talk about different types of agriculture, which everyone would kind of know who's on the call most likely. You have open field agriculture. This is me in my lovely dashing bush patch, and I'm smiling so handsomely. And I want to be able to get young people to understand the importance of that dirt. You know, I am a strong advocate for dirt. I am a supporter of hydroponics, don't get me wrong, but I am saying don't just knock the dirt and say, well, agriculture is no longer dirt. No, we're going wrong because I'll always argue and say, plant a dasheen, plant a cassava, plant a sweet potato in hydroponics, right? I don't know if anybody would do it in the future, but I haven't seen anyone do it as yet. You know, and again, talk about hydroponics farming. This is me at Better Grow Hydro Farm, which we might be hearing from the owner of Better Grow in a few. And many of you would know a lot about hydroponics. You know, like a small land space, you could be able to grow a lot of heads of lettuce, patchouli, you name it, Swiss chard, different things you might want to grow. You know, you recycle the water, no soil, etc., etc. So a very good technology. Of course, I believe in safe and responsible agriculture. A lot of people who's doing this, if they don't get the right training, you may not be giving people healthy food because they might be using too much chemical or the wrong chemical to grow the food, right? Again, I'll go into opportunities, you know, the value addition. A couple of my colleagues from before spoke about it, you know, from the crop to the shop. You know, during COVID-19, again, we was able to launch an Agriman Callaloo pack. You know, we are working on our packaging. We totally don't want to use plastic, but we kind of limited with options at the moment, but we have our friends at Market Movers Designs who helping us out and other colleagues as well who's going to help us out with the package. So you see me in my dashing bush patch, and then you see our Agriman Callaloo pack, and this is being sold at Massey stores in Superior, right? Value addition again from the bean to the bar. You see me harvesting our lovely cocoa on the farm, and you see the Daisy Darling chocolate brand that created by Sapari Chocolate, which is a subsidiary company of WHYFARM, but that youths in Superior actually run and operate, and they make the chocolates, right? From the plant to the pack, right? You see pimentos in my hand, and you see a lovely young lady with a candy spices, a pimento powder product. That is amazing. This product already went to places like New York and Canada, not on the shelf per se, but that's the colleagues and friends, and they love it. And we are now trying to create that export market to be able to make this product go abroad. You know, of course, we'll have to improve on the packaging. Again, you start with something, otherwise you will never start, right? So from the seed to the snack, right? This is our okra product. This is not, I'm not associated with this. I just saw this online and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, creating an okra snack. But before I even saw this, I had the idea, what we could do with okra. And one day on the farm, my dad took okra and he said, let me make a chow with the okra. I was like, okra chow? Ew. When we put up that okra and season it, that was the best chow I ever had. Pineapple was my best. Pineapple is my second best now. So that gave the idea that we could definitely use okra as a snack, put it in a pack. And I'm throwing ideas out there, right? Because no one have the copyright for ideas. Ideas is just things in people's head, right? But this is to just inspire you that you could do something similar to it. The opportunities are there, right? Now, I want to say, have a vision, but not just any vision, have a provision. You know, they like that one, right? I saw the product on the left coming out of Tobago dashing cereal. And I was like, OMG, this is amazing, right? Curiously, I don't know how we pronouncing that, curiously grounded Caribbean coconut, their diet, it's seriously good. And I was like, you know, when I see an idea, I was like, wait, how I didn't think about that, man? you know. And this was real innovative. I'm not sure if it's on the shelf as yet or what, but I saw two young ladies that I think they submitted it to Tobago Festival, so some kind of competition. I don't know if they might be listening. I want to get in touch with them. I would love to work with them on developing this. And then the product to the right, my right, you know, this company has cassava flour, plantain flour, I think sweet potato flour. And I was like, that is what we're talking about, you know? So, you know, all this wheat flour that we know about, yeah, let me done away with that and find local things that can make our flour. Of course, we'll have to figure out demand and whatnot, but we'll figure it out. You know, where there's a way, there's a will, right? Now, this slide talks about online opportunities, you know, market movers. They are I would say, the leading company in Trinidad and Tobago with delivering fresh produce to your doorstep, you know, and during COVID period, my organization, WHYFARM, you know, we had to respond to the people in Superior. Everybody was like, you know, where they could get produce delivered to them. And we created Dashing Your Doorstep Markets, you know, where we will dash in your doorstep and provide you with markets, right? It's specifically for the elderly people. Again, these are ideas that you could do. You often see farmers complaining online, nobody buying the produce. What we could do, why not network with them and find a way to get their produce to some consumer that's willing to pay it, and then maybe I want to go to the farmer's market, maybe I want to go to the supermarket, you could bring it to them. Throwing out ideas again, right? Again, education for young people. Agriman Adventures, we have our comic book stories that we tell, and we actually be able to monetize this, of course. We try to get this in bookstores from time to time. We often have issues getting it in bookstores. You know, I have faced my challenges and continue to face my challenges where bookstore owners will tell you things like, you know, it's a local, so you know, people don't read local. You know, so it's similar to people saying people don't eat local. And I think now is the time, agripreneurs, to change this and to fix this once and for all, right? So during COVID, we had to introduce something digital. So we introduced AgriBots, a digital agricultural superhero in the form of a robot to be able to show young children how digital agriculture could work, right? AgriBots was introduced in a new comic book as well. But before I go there, we have our photosynthesis, and I'm taking the opportunity for those who's listening to find out if you're interested in becoming photosynthesister. We are looking for a career, somebody to be in the mascot. So who will be our photosynthesister? Send me an email, send me a Facebook message if you feel you have what it takes, right? So this is our AgriBot issue, real nice comic. We are about to print and release it in stores as well, so look out for that. And this was kind of one of our responses. This project was specifically funded by the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization. We worked on them to find out we worked with them to find out the status of digital agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. And we found out a lot about it, mainly that people don't know what is digital agriculture. I wanted to do a series on what you know about digital agriculture going around Trinidad. Hopefully one of our colleagues who's on the call, ADB or the ministry or somebody could fund this. I'm throwing out my ideas and they always say you have to have an ask. I'm doing just that, right? Food value chain. I'm kind of winding down the presentation, talking fast because the most exciting part is yet to come, right? When we talk about the food value chain, I want you all as young people to see where in this value chain that you fit. Where do you fit as an agripreneur in creating your business? Is it the input side of things? I think education might be missing there. Do you educate people? Find creative ways of educating people. Is it seeds, pesticides, you know, fertilizers? Then farm, are you going to grow your food? Of course, in growing your food, there's so many different types of ways to grow your food. Grow boxes, greenhouses, vertical farming, hydroponics, aquaponics, whatever ponics, you name it, right? And then processing. Are you going to just buy from the farmer, buy the pimentos, and make a pimento product? You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to manufacture? Are you good at graphic art? Are you good at graphics? Are you good at marketing? Because just as any other business, agriculture must be treated as an industry that where all these skill sets is combined, just as anything else. Making over the years. I think we must expand our thought process to be able to. Are you guys, yeah?
Go ahead, Alpha.
Yeah, Yeah, okay, and also, and then we talk about the distribution, then retail, and then to the consumer. Are you going to are you going to develop a smart application to get food to the restaurant, to the hotel, to the supermarket, to the consumers, right? So this is just to tease you a little bit in understanding that where you could fit in, taking your skill sets and adding it to agriculture, right? Or agribusiness, right? And yeah, so that brings me to the end of my initial presentation. I would say halfway through my task for this morning. And I know I are supposed to have 3 young people on board here today with me, um, right? Mrs. Keisha Roberts-Kerr. She's the owner of Blue Tongue Market. I had the opportunity of working with her as one of the finalists in our Ambita program last year. And she will be telling us more about herself and what she do in the upcoming panel session, right? And then we have Mr. Elon Robinson. Well, I love to call Elon Robertson a Facebook, probably regional star. I call him the lettuce boss, the lettuce king. I buy WHYFARM buys lettuce from him nearly every morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Sometimes I'm in front of Elon's farm. Elon, I come to pick up my lettuce, and he is out there in the field planting, harvesting, packing to go for orders to go all around Trinidad. He's the owner, managing director of Better Grow Hydro Farm, right? And he'll tell us more about himself later on. And then we have Miss Nikita Legal. She has been my friend for years, advocating with me, quarreling with me, crying with me to make this sector better. And I would like to call her the sweetness of the industry because she is doing amazing honey and she runs tropical hives, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a panel now on agripreneurs in action. So I will invite my panelists to share their video and come on board, and we're just going to have a conversation about your work, about what you do, how you do, why you do. And I don't know if we will be able to get some level of questions from the audience, and we'll see how time goes, right? So welcome into the stage, my 3 panelists. Stop sharing my screen.
Hey, morning.
Right, so welcome Nikita, Keisha, and where is Elon? He was here. He was here. Okay, he was here. So I think we will start. Nevertheless, I hope he comes back on soon, right? So ladies, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Agripreneurs in action. I want to start with Keisha. And Keisha, let's give us this backstory of who you are, how you got started.
Okay, so good morning. My name is Keisha Roberts-Kerr. As he said, I'm the co-owner of Blue Tongue Market. We are located in Bloody Bay in Tobago. When I moved to Bloody Bay in 2015 after I got married, I realized within the community they had no fresh produce markets or stores, no businesses within that area. And me working and having my kids, I have to travel like a whole hour to get to Scarborough just to get some produce, or I have to buy before I go home from work. So we got to talking and we had the idea that we can provide this service within that area, as well as to expand in manufacturing and doing deliveries and stuff like that. So that's how we got into starting this whole business.
All right, thanks, Keisha. Nikki, you want to give us a same response to who you are, how you got started?
Hi, everybody. So my name is Nikita Ligol, and how I got started was a little bit of happenstance. My first step really was YBTT. I basically came to YBTT and said, well, I have 2 business ideas. I have an app I wanted to do and the honey production. And they said, well, maybe the honey production would be the thing that we'd be more interested in doing. So I did do some training with the ministry, which was my first introduction to bees and beekeeping. They have courses that you can go and take. So I took that for a week, got myself a bee suit, and just kind of started step by step there. So the business essentially, we do produce our own honey. We work with other beekeepers as well. We operate primarily online. So you can order through Facebook, through our website, and get the products delivered directly to your door.
Awesome. Thanks, Nikki. And I see Elon is with us. Elon, can you come in? Can we get Elon in? So Elon, we just chatting, and I wanted you to tell folks who you are and how you got started in becoming this lettuce boss that you are. Give us the background.
Hi, morning everybody. Morning.
Morning.
Well, I am Elon Robinson. I is the owner of WHYFARM. I started this business about 2.5 years due to getting laid off from in the industry. I was a combination welder. I got laid off, but with my job, I constantly getting laid off. Like I work for 6 months and I home for 2 months and I work for a year and I home. So I started getting real for the father. So the last time when I was home, I look around, I put some thought into it and thing. I see like around like my area, it have plenty farmers and them actually wealthy. So I said, boy, I better go into farming too. I went and do a 2 weeks course in hydroponics. And I started off with like 1,000 plants. And now I reach 8,000 plants because the demand is real high. I reached 8,000 plants and that's why it's now better go hydrofarm.
Nice, man. As I said, every other morning I'm in front of Elon's house, by his farm, buying lettuce from him, because he supplies us the supply mass he stores in Superior with his lettuce, right? So let me go back to Keisha. Keisha, I know you have a wide variety of products, right? And I myself just be wondering how you just do it with all these products and and sort of create this brand that you are developing slowly but surely in Tobago. So I want to share with share with the audience how what are these different products that you created, that you have developed, and like if they where do you actually sell them and whatnot?
Okay, so starting from I made things at home. So basically my mom got me starting because we normally buy seasoning and pepper sauce because we didn't like what we saw in the supermarket. Sometimes they had too much cornstarch or they were slimy in a way. So we created our own from home from ever since. So I decided that, hey, I could manufacture this instead of always making it just for home or giving the neighbors. So I created green seasoning, pepper sauce, garlic sauce. All these are natural products with no added preservatives that will be harmful to human consumption. And we also started doing pre-packed vegetables. So we have the callaloo pack as well. We have our chow mein pack, our steam veg pack, and you could buy these from our store, or you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, call 352-2424, and you can order from there and we deliver to you. We also are working on getting onto the Planting Seeds Caribbean site that Trinidad will be easily accessed to our products.
Awesome. And Keisha, would you say that getting your products on the shelf is a challenge at the moment, or like you haven't really dived into that aspect just yet?
Okay, well, I did speak to one supermarket about getting it in their supermarket. The challenge would be there are a lot of agro-processors in Tobago, but also, I don't know if I'm a perfectionist or not, but I want to make sure that the quality is checked. I have everything checked off from health and everything before I can put on the shelves within supermarkets than to just dive into it and then I can be sued. So I am just taking my time, getting the things right, doing my research, making sure that we do what is correct and get our stuff out in the supermarkets. But we do supply mini marts and small retail shops. We have had great reviews from them, but we just want to make sure that when we step into supermarkets, we give quality in our products when we send them out there.
Excellent, right? I appreciate that feedback. Nikita, can you share, tell us about your products? So what are your products and like how it's sold, how it's distributed at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So essentially, the primary product that I do is honey in different sizes. So we have some small bottles. Those are the small bottles behind me. We have large bottles as well. I actually do also process my beeswax. So the beeswax itself, you could use it for other things if you're making candles. Some people use it in soaps. I actually had somebody that uses it to paint. So she mixes it and makes her own paint and does that kind of thing. So it has a lot of uses. I've done a little bit of experimenting with regards to products, but not yet settled on as far as what I'm gonna do downstream and your value added products. Yeah.
All right. And Elon, I know the lettuce, I know your primary focus is the lettuce, but could you share some other things that you grew before or will intend to grow or whatnot?
Yeah, well, we does. Well, lettuce is the main produce, but we does do like pak choy and kale. Pak choy, kale, and we do like 5 different types of lettuce. We have the ruby red, tango, well, the Eden lettuce, that the Murray lettuce. We
All right.
sell to, yeah.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
We sell to a good number of places. We sell to Starlight Pharmacy. We sell to Rotisserie Kings. We sell to Richard's Bacon Shack. We sell to Max Grill House. We sell to Island Beer. Yeah.
Wow. So here, as I have you here, Elon, how you came into this business? You come out of nowhere. You was this welder. You start to farm, and how it is you selling to Richard's Bacon Shack? I mean, how you selling to Island Beer, and what made you this popular person that you became? And people ordering your lettuce. What did you do? What is your key quality to make people Richard's Bacon Shack all of a sudden ordering from you? What did you do?
Well, in the earlies it was hard, eh? In the earlies, well, like nobody didn't want to talk about like check real places. They talk about hydro lettuce, this and hydro lettuce, that and it, and well, like the shelf life or whatever. But I was real shocked because I know no community business, but I know that wasn't going on with my lettuce. So what I mostly do is use like social media. I'm a social media person. I started to use Facebook, Instagram. I started to use my credit card and sponsor ads and stuff. And from there it just it take off. I started brand my stuff like my jersey. You'll see I have on my jersey. So I will post up pics with my jersey and real put it out there. Social media. And like I used to tell people and think about the shelf life and the stuff what I use and stuff. I saw that is I had like green label stuff then. I just make sure I use well green label products, which is not bad or like harmful in any way then. And when people will continue hearing about the reviews about my lettuce and stuff, and well sales it just start well to multiply. Right now I don't even have enough. I don't even have enough, and I have over 8,000. And right now my cousin have 4,000 altogether. So that is like 12,000 heads of lettuce every month, and I don't even enough.
And I could attest to that because sometimes I trying to get 10, 20 letters from Elon and sometimes I can't get it. So that just show you how this young man is, I've really toppled the market in selling lettuce, and sometimes he moving from south straight up in the north coast in the east
no
coast of
transport. Right
sometimes
now,
no transport because he had I'm sure you wouldn't mind me sharing, he had an unfortunate incident where he came outside to harvest his lettuce one morning, and guess what? His van gone.
A month ago.
His vehicle gone. A month ago, his vehicle
still paying for
it. And still paying for it. And of course, nobody had gone paid for him. So he had to pay for it. And these are the kind of real challenges that young people are faced with. And they are really, but still, you see, Elon's still smiling. When I thought Elon was going to kind of give up or whatnot, that does increase his tenacity and his resilience to push, right? So let me dive into another segment here now, where we're going to talk about some of the challenges that you had and you overcome. Like, what was this main challenge that you had when starting and you overcome it by doing something innovative, something different? And the reason why I want to get this is that so that someone out there who's listening might be facing that same challenge or something similar, and they might get an idea how to overcome it. Or if the challenge they overcome as yet, well, then say so as well too. So let me start with Kishana. What major, although you seem like you have it down back in Tobago, but what is the major challenge that you have faced with building blue tongue markets or facing? On mute.
Yeah, so I'm sure you know I don't like public speaking, and that was something I had to overcome when I started. Still overcoming it, and with even pitching your business, you have to know how to pitch. You have to know the right pitch to do, and yes, I've been through various pitching programs. I was part of your program, but at the end of the day, even though you do not win in the pitch, you learn a lot, and you are able to take information, because from your program I learned a lot of how to structure your business, what to say, what type of business you are, and that has greatly helped me in pushing my business forward. Even being able to be part of Shell Livewire, I took that knowledge into being part of Shell Livewire program, and it helped me to accelerate the business even more.
And I know that you'll have some great news to share sometime. I ain't going to burst the bubble or nothing like that, but
well, I think later today they are supposed to announce it. I saw it this morning, so they will announce it here.
All right.
Yeah.
So guys, look out for that. We have some stars on the panel here right now, but I ain't going to burst the bubble or nothing like that, right? So, Nikki, I want to share with us what is that major challenge that you may have when you started or in between, or if it still is a major challenge, tell us and be raw. And let's hope that we get these messages to the relevant authorities. If it's the authorities to fix it, sometimes it's not only the authorities to fix it, right? But share with us now.
Well, the major challenges, I think, for me particularly, the major challenges was access to capital and land access. Those two are the biggest ones for me, because being a first generation farmer, you don't have that access to land. And then beekeeping in particular is not just the land you're on, but what you have to forage. So if you're on the northern range, you have the entire northern range, pui, all the different flowers and that kind of stuff. It's not as simple as say, well, I want a 2-acre block in Caroni because the bees can't just feed on a set of grass and wild cane and whatnot. So that has been huge. It is still a challenge. Access to capital is still challenging. Yes, I did get my startup from YBTT, but like to make the next step and the next step and the next step, and then institutions are not always, I don't want to say not realistic, but it doesn't always fit. So if you're asking for 75% collateral or 100% collateral, and you're asking that from a young person, it's a little bit trickier. It's more difficult. So those things. I mean, I think even Netco now they're asking for 65% collateral for a loan. You know, so those things are difficult. Industry wise, I know we have issues with pre-larceny. I mean, we've had issues where people had all the hives stolen, and I'm talking about 100 colonies of bees just gone. We've had issues with pest and disease from farmers. So industry-wise, there are pest issues from farmers spraying, and also from the Ministry of Health spraying. So just to give you all a little insight, the same stuff that they use to spray for mosquitoes, it also kills bees. So we have a lot of industry challenges, but those are some of the major ones.
I mean, and that one alone is alarming, you know. So what do we do? Do we take our food production very seriously? If you're saying what is spraying for mosquitoes also killing bees, Because as far as I know, the bees are there to pollinate our flowers for our food to grow, our food and our fruit and vegetables to grow.
Yeah, a lot of it is advocating because there are other ways of doing it. Like you can use infertile male mosquitoes and flood the environment with them, which keeps your mosquito population down. But you know, the wheels of the government and making changes, those things happen very slowly. And you're really trying to talk to two different arms of government. One being health and the next one being agriculture. It's ironic that they're separate, but you know, you're talking to health and agriculture and they're like, well, you know, people's health comes first because you have, you know, dengue and those kind of things. I was like, we need to find a way to make both work.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Elon, so I'll dive over to you. You know, what is that main challenge that you have faced, how you overcome it, what you think should be done to overcome it if you haven't? Unmute.
Yeah, well, the challenges I face, I would say, like when I started farming, like the knowledge boy. And like you go and do a little course and think about plenty of the people like we're going and do the course. I don't know, well, I know what they're saying, but it might be just like for like a smaller amount than now, but how I go in it, well, like commercially, like I get real problems with like knowing what to spray for pesticides, fungicides, and like when you go by plenty farmers that do not want to share the knowledge. Plenty farmers doesn't want to share the knowledge because them watching that's competition then now, but if them give out them secret, become like, all right, well, like you go be competition to them. So plenty of them doesn't give out the knowledge at all. So I had well like to go into researching and reading and stuff and like trial and error. My thing is really well trial and error. It a plenty time I plant 8,000 and can reap 1,000 letters out of that because it's bacteria spots and is or maybe something I spray and it won't set a fine burn spots on the lettuce. So I just had to trial and error and reading up and stuff. And the next thing I will say is land, boy. Land real hard, boy. Land is the hardest thing, boy. Farmer's card. I can understand why it's so hard, but to get a farmer's card, I in this business 2 years and a half. I have over 8,000 plants. It was so hard in giving me a farmer's card, boy. I know the land, but what I own is the thing and that is with the landlord and thing, but at least I could get somebody a farmer's card, will say like for 6 months and you renew it, a year and you renew it. Because I maybe invest over 200,000 because 8 system I have, and for one system, about 15,000 for one system. And so you see now you in this and has so much crops. And what's why I'm giving them a farmer's card? And look, I buy a van. Well, the van with the tip, I buy a van. I ain't get no kind, I didn't know but they have the VAT or whatever. I have to go back and buy the next van again. And I win, well, get no incentive for that. So like they're talking about they want to help like the youths and the farmers care and this and that, but like the real farmers ain't getting it then now. And that is why I find it real failure, real failure. And like considering like the funding, I can't bad talk that because the ADB well, they does help me. That's one thing I could give them props about. I never had no problems with the ADB. And like anytime I ask well for a loan and stuff and they come and the view and this and they see how I plant and everything, others get it. Well, so I want to congratulate well the ADB. Serious. And what I know plenty people will just talk about the ADB so I think they think well, but I can't say that about them now. I have to congratulate them now.
Yeah. All right, Elon boy, I don't know if all you're hearing this youth man and his way of talking about it real and raw. It do get more real than that, you know. And I have to really and truly endorse all that he is saying. Why it's so hard to get his farmer's card. When you go, I mean, I'm not saying you pick and choose or whatever, but somebody like Elon, he's a farmer Facebook superstar. He is encouraging so many young people out there to get into agriculture. He should be made into this, like Jamaica, for example, they have this program called the Young Champion Farmer of the Year. And if we had that program here, Elon might have win that title going and coming. You know, and he has to be given that incentive to be able to encourage other young people, his farmer's card. That he had a little piece of land. Imagine if he had, more lots of land there, how much more lettuce he'll be growing, how much more employment he'll be creating as well.
Right now. I want to expand back.
You understand? So I hope or wish our minister is still here or would view this later on to be able to help all of us. I and all have issues with land, but sometimes I advocate for other young people more than myself, right? So, I mean, these are some of the real challenges, and I'm glad that you gave ADB their respect. Not everybody might be as fortunate as you, because some people might be able to meet certain criteria, etc., etc. But good, very good to know that they have supported you, and I also like to say that they have supported AgriMan as well throughout our journey as well. So thank you very much on behalf of us for supporting. Right. I guess my final question to kind of wrap it all up this morning would be, in terms of all the nice things that we heard in the budget, 2020 budget, I kind of want to ask you all, each of you, which one of the things that you think to your business personally and as well as to other young people, and how you generally feel about it now? Do you feel it's just talk? Do you feel it's real stuff? Do you feel it really benefit these?
Seems like Alpha's internet is acting up. Sure, you could probably, if you heard Alpha, you could probably respond to what he asks about the budget.
Okay, yeah, the Wi-Fi was giving trouble. Yeah. Okay. From the budget, for me, I always say the persons who get to be gaining more from these things do not get it. Say just like Elon, who needs help and needs assistance. Yes, you allocate these things and you put them out there for young people to be able to partake in it, but they are not the ones who always benefit from it. Not because he's not registered as getting the badge or registered as a farmer. Just like how the chief sec is in Tobago, looking at farmers, visiting farmers and speaking to them, asking them what they need, what are the trials, what are the challenges that they are going through. That could happen in Trinidad and help farmers get food badge, farmers badge, sorry. Even with me, I tried to get a farmers badge, I never got it. Right now in Tobago, we cannot get a food badge because of COVID-19. And that is something that I need, especially in processing. So for me, things need to be better in terms of the persons who really need these assistance and help through the allocations. They are the ones that have to get it, especially the young persons, because they are the future feeders of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Kish. Nikki?
I heard a little bit about the budget and the allocations and stuff with agriculture and the plans and whatnot. But the way I look at it is, what is for me, and nobody could come in between what was meant for me. So if there's something, I will apply. If there's an opportunity, I will try to take advantage of it. But at the end of the day, I have my journey. I have the things that I need to get done, and I will get them done regardless.
I love the powerful statement. Elon?
My thing is real farmers, well, them do not profit now, boy. And I just my thing. Well, so the budget allocation, it could be good. It could be good or whatever, but we not profiting. The youths not profiting. Who really needed them now, boy. So well, I don't know now. But who really need it? Them don't profit. That's just my thing, man.
All right. Well, I'm afraid we might be running out of time. I mean, I really want to thank each of you for an excellent, sincere, real contribution towards this panel, Agripreneurs in Action. And I hope that all our viewers would realize that one thing with these young people, including myself, we ain't stopping. We are waiting for something to come and fall on our lap. We ain't stopping. We're doing what we have to do. We will continue to advocate. We will continue to feed our future. We continue to grow responsible and safe food so that the generations to come will have food that not only full them, but fulfills them, right? There are some questions in the chat box. So I encourage the panelists when we come off this section to kind of respond to some of the questions, some folks asking how to contact Nikita, etc. So you guys could kind of follow up. So Mrs. Rattan, thank you, panelists. Thank you for being here. And Mrs. Rattan, over back to you.
Thank you.